I'm 6 months away from finishing my degree in construction, and on job sites I see the project managers, which is the job I want to have, but I haven't seen a single one that I want to be like when I grow up. So I started having doubts if this is what I really want, because I want to protect my lifestyle and my body from becoming tired and stressed out. My dad has been a construction worker his whole life, and it's definitely interested me from a young age to see what he does. And I didn't really know what to do after high school. I just did like a general degree in high school, and I thought about joining the military. I was very close to actually doing it, but my sister, who was in the military for I think close to 8 years, recommended that I study first because she switched to studying and she's still studying right now. And she said it's so much harder to study after you've worked. So I chose something after high school which is very broad and which people recommended me that if you don't know what to do, just go and do engineering. So I chose that and I flunked it. I was still not studying as well as I needed to be. I still had the same mindset as I had in high school, which, by the way, for a little bit of context, I failed the second to last grade in high school. So I had to redo it, and my entire mindset was just, oh, I'll study during the exams. Like, we had tests, yes, I'd study for the tests for a bit, but then my main study period was during the exams. And so my mindset was still the same when I went and did a master's in engineering, which is I can't even put a number on it how much times it's difficult than just a high school. So I came there, I didn't really do anything, only during the exams. So half the exams I didn't pass, and some of the subjects like maths and chemical engineering, I didn't really know what to do. I didn't have enough of a background and I didn't study enough to really become a good engineer. So I was a lazy student, I have to admit it. I have since grown up in that area, but it's definitely like a mindset shift. So I notice in myself that I've become more grown up in that fashion because now I put in the work and I'm proud of myself if I get good grades. So I chose a bachelor in construction after doing a year of engineering because I saw it, to be honest, as an easy way out. And it hasn't been easy, I can admit, but it's not been as hard as engineering, of course. But after the first year, or even after the first lesson I had in bachelor construction, I felt like I was underperforming. It felt to me like this was just a little bit more different and more specific, of course, in high school. But it was such a level difference with engineering that I just felt like I was underperforming. And now, fast forward 3 years, I'm almost finished. I already did my bachelor thesis. I had pretty good grades in the last year at least. And now I'm just worried like, what am I gonna do now? Because I don't see myself working full time. Anytime I had a summer job, which I did a lot of, I was a mailman, I worked in a factory, I also worked in construction to get some experience there. And right now I'm doing a student job, which is project manager at a firm, a pretty big firm in Belgium. And during these experiences, I noticed that a lot of people that work in construction are not healthy. Like, yes, you have the people on the bureau, which is just like a desk job. That's the same, I feel like, anywhere. But the project manager and the site manager jobs, they are very stressful. And you can see the people that work there 5, 10 years, sometimes even longer, you can see it that it affects them in a very bad way. They look tired, they look stressed out, and most of them, I don't want to say all of them because that's not true, are not physically fit. Either they smoke or they don't train their body enough that they're healthy, or they eat bad so they get fat. And now I'm just worrying about what that would mean for me because I know I'm someone that values my own time very much. And if I work long hours like it would have to be in project managing, I am scared that I wouldn't have time enough to do all the stuff that I want to do in life because I still have friends, I still have family, I still have a girlfriend, and I'm just like, damn, is there gonna be any time left for myself? So, like I said, I'm almost finished, so Now in 2 months, I'm gonna have to choose. I either keep studying or I start working, like a job like I'm working right now. And to be honest, I'm leaning very hard towards studying more. And what that would look like for me is studying a master's anyway in engineering, because now I feel like I've grown up as a person and a student, and I feel like if I can get myself behind it, I have the mindset and the capabilities to do it. The most important reason why I want to do it is because I've always, like I said, felt like I've underperformed in life. Because I chose a bachelor in construction, I definitely feel like I will regret just starting to work now and having to grind my way up, because I know I could have been at a different point in life if I chose engineering from the start, if I kept going, if I didn't become so lazy, if I didn't succumb to the laziness that I know I have. So I'm going to choose for studying, which is 3 more years. It's a very long time. And I'm just gonna try to figure it out, because I know right now I'm 23 years old. If I study for 3 more years, I'm 26. And there is more money to be made with an engineering degree, but I have to weigh that up against already having 3 years of experience in construction. Starting right now, like if I just keep my degree, bachelor in construction, and I choose to work, I can already have, first of all, 3 years wages and 3 years experience. But in my head, if I weigh it up against the opportunity to maybe grow further in life, to have a higher wage in life, to get a nicer car maybe, the opportunity is definitely higher if I study engineering. And working seems hard, like I said, with all my student jobs. If I did it for like 6 to 8 weeks, it's not like, wow, this is easy. It's not easy to have a full-time job. It's not easy to get up in the morning. Right now I'm working 1 hour away from home, so I get up at 5. I leave at 6. I need an hour to get ready. I shower, I want to do everything. I make my food slowly. I don't want to rush in the morning. So I get up at 5, leave at 6. I'm there at 7. Then I'm there from 7 to 3, if everything goes well. And then I'm home at 4. So it's not bad, but of course I'm still a student, so they don't expect me to make crazy hours. They don't expect overtime from me. But it just seems to me like that is definitely expected if you start working there. This is what they tell you. It's a firm, and they say play hard, work hard. So if you want to earn much money, you gotta work hard. And it's the first thing they told me when I went to interview for them. Like, it's not a 9 to 5 job, and it isn't. Like right now I work today and I'm tired. It was 35 degrees in Belgium, like Celsius. It's fucking hot, man. But it also gives me perspective on life. Like, damn, I'm happy that I studied, because the people that didn't study and maybe worked directly after high school, they're now the laborers. They're the people that do the actual work, because I'm more of a desk job slash being on site is what a project manager is. And then I started asking myself, like, do these people around me not share similarities? Because they're unhealthy, they're stressed out, they look tired. Most of them have such big, like, under their eyes, big bags under their eyes. And I feel like I'm not ready to commit to that. I feel like I'm not mature enough yet to fully devote my 40 hours a week. Let's just call it 50, because I know it will be close to that. 50 hours a week, 10 hours a day, and I have the weekend off. I feel like maybe my body or my mind is not ready for that. Maybe even both. So eventually I decided, after like 2-3 months of thinking, that studying wins for me. I'm gonna study a master in engineering. It's gonna take 3 years, yes. But during those 3 years, it's not like a full study plan, so I can still work 2 days a week until I finish. So I still have some money that I can build up. But I have to admit that I'm kind of lost in life. Like, is studying what I want to do? Is working what I want to do? I'm not quite sure. So I'm not sitting here and telling you guys that I'm sure about what I want to do, but I feel like making this video is going to help me process it verbally by telling it to you and maybe getting a different life view of it. And if some of you leave comments about your experience, I can definitely learn from that. So I'm going to study 3 more years, work my ass off, because I know this studying is going to be hard. I'm not underestimating it anymore because I already did a year of engineering, and the maths and stuff, it's difficult, man. You can't just not do it 1 week and then expect to do it next week, because you need to keep up with it. So, but definitely something to weigh in is, yeah, the money, of course. If I went for 3 years, I had 3 years wages, and then I could maybe start a life after that, because then I'll be 26. But if I now choose to do engineering, I'll be 26. I won't have as much money, but I'll still have a nice amount if I go working 2 days a week. So starting a life shouldn't be a problem, but it's definitely something that I think about. And I don't know if you guys had any trouble with this in your own lives. If you have something that you're worried about, like a big life choice, because for me this feels like the biggest one ever. Like, yeah, after high school I didn't know what to do, but it was quite fast. I just chose engineering because a friend of mine did it. A couple of friends of mine were even going to do it. I knew so many people in like the environment. And my dad was always in construction, so I was like always just like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. But if you guys have anything just like that, where you're not sure what you want to do and it's difficult, share it in the comments. Maybe I can help you out. Maybe other people can help you out. Because really, I know my channel name is perspective pending, but it's true. My perspective is still pending, and I'm just thinking about future me. Which decision would he want to make? And it's not easy to think like that because you don't know what the future brings. That's why I'm stone set on doing engineering, because I feel like I will regret it more if I don't give it a chance. Now, I want to end this by saying that I don't have this figured out, but I think most people never even stop to ask. So I'm asking you, look at the people ahead of you in your job, your boss, your colleagues. Is that who you want to be? Because if the answer makes you uncomfortable, that's probably something worth talking about. Okay, I'll see you next week, guys. Bye bye.